Prods Oktor Skjaeeva, translated and edited Jean Kellens' Essays on Zarathustra and Zoroastrianism. It's a more technical book because of its making its arguments based on the language. But despite its technicality, it actually opens the faith a bit to the common thinker. For one, it says, well, what's the value, whether he's historic or not, what's the value of the myth? What does it mean? How does it apply? That sort of thing. And in that vein, we have how the old Avesta, the Gathas, and the Haptang Aeta is really a continuation. Really the others are just using different language to talk upon the same themes. And although you don't have the bountiful immortals mentioned by that term, you're really saying the same thing. And being an effectual text, it's more open to different use and that sort of thing. And if we step away from some of the Sasanian and the Achaemenid rules and rituals that were considered to be part of the tradition, it becomes a tradition that can be followed in a lot more than what seem like limited material culture conditions. And we can tie these languages to similar languages like Sanskrit and such. We can look at cultural evidence of how these things were observed with them, but we see a very strong indication that, anything from monotheism to very detailed polytheism was being practiced in this area. But we see a distinct turning from some of the things associated with the other. Like the use of drugs, while it does find its mention, you kind of have the indication that if that's happening, they're tempering it with healing plants. They're embracing the good things in life, sexuality and good eating, rather than, oh, don't worry, you'll enjoy that area of life in the afterlife. When you do ritual, it's not just some exchange for boons of one sort or another, although it does talk about the afterlife and that sort of thing. It's to bring you more fully into the fold of existence. To establish your character, to bring about spiritual and mental and physical results that you might not otherwise have. Now, I did say, it's not just some physical exchange, but, it does have that involvement. And a strength of character that connects all of society, which is important to the idea of a religion, and a religion that involves not just society, but the natural world. So the good religion is very well a term that applies to this area, whether it's purely preserved or not, because it's really hard to narrow down when Zoroaster occurred. Now, I will not agree with the idea that, well, this seems to fit well in a story, so this must be not true. But people tend to remember aspects of events and pass those on when they're functionable or meaningful, or whatever you're going to say about it, far more than when they're just, oh, I believe in this, I'm going to pass it on. Now, that's essential, but yeah.